Hey everyone, this is Company of Heroes gameplay footage. We are 11 minutes into the game. We are playing against two hard CPUs, which I know is not a terribly impressive thing in the world of Company of Heroes, but we've just started playing again after a long break, and we've just failed in an attempt to beat these guys on this map, so this is our second try. Things have been going pretty well up to this point, but we're not really prepared for these tanks. So this is really the point in the game where things start going pretty badly for us. We have one AT gun, it's just off to the left of the screen, it's mine, and we're trying to keep them busy with our infantry and give the AT gun a chance to maybe take out one of those tanks. We're feeling a little bit desperate at this point. I'm starting to think we're in for another loss. My AT gun ends up in too deep against three vehicles. It doesn't have the maneuverability or the support to deal with what it's up against. I bring up my conscripts to reinforce to get it back to full squad strength, but it's not enough to do much more than maybe let it get one or two more shots in before it goes down. So there goes my AT gun, and with it my only hope of beating these tanks. While this is going on, Punman has managed to build a Jackson, and so he launches a counterattack here. I've also managed to get a T-34, and amazingly, his Jackson decrews a Panzer IV. So we've just got this one last Panzer IV to deal with. I'm bringing up a squad to take over their Panzer IV that got decrewed, and did you see that? There's another Panzer IV decrewed. So we're feeling like this is a big turning point in the game, that the RNGods have handed us an amazing opportunity to turn this game around here. All we have to do is get these two Panzer IVs back and repair them, and then we will have the upper hand. So while I'm repairing my tanks, Punman is trying to keep their tanks busy with his Jackson, but he's pretty outnumbered here and he has to pull back. And we decide that the best plan is to cede this center victory point to the enemy for now. As soon as they get a squad up there, we're going to be triple capped, we're going to be in a lot of trouble, and we're going to have to move really fast to try to get this game back under control. So at this point I rush a bunch of my infantry out to try to distract the enemy, but a P4 catches me and I have to run them all back. But fortunately I've got all my tanks repaired, so I think this is a great opportunity to try to catch that P4 and get Ostwind, and wasn't expecting that tank gun, which is my old tank gun that they've recruited, but that's okay. I've got a tank gun of my own, I've got 3 tanks, and the tank gun's already down. Soon there goes the P4. Ostwind will be next. All's going pretty well. We're going to push out, we're going to take these VPs, except there's that Panzer Grenadier squad, and there's a Stug. So there goes one of my P4s that's that I recaptured, and it's gone already. And yep, I'm not fast enough to retreat this other P4. Just a little scattered here, kind of a little shocked, and yeah, so there goes my other P4, and that was the end of my little comeback. While I'm working on the center VP, Punman's pushing hard to try to get to the south VP in time, but he's only got a Sherman and a nearly dead squad of rifles against a whole lot more enemy. I'm still trying to get myself sorted out after my little screw up with losing my 2 P4s, but I do move a squad up to that victory point, and we break the triple cap stranglehold we've been in with just 51 points remaining. And in the south, the Punman is still hemmed in. He has the upper hand. Will he be able to break out and get to that victory point in time? I get the center VP capped with 41 points remaining. I do have some tanks I've got to deal with here, and I figure I'm going to flank around them with these T-34s, but of course Murphy gets me, and I've got a Stug flanking me from the back there, so I'm in a lot of trouble. I lose my brand new T-34, and I'm desperately trying to retreat the other one. P4 parks itself in my way, but I managed to take it out on the way out. Meanwhile, Punman makes his way to the South VP with 27 points remaining. We've got a chance, but scores 383 to 26, so it's not much of one. Now watch this carefully. Watch what happens to this Stug. I've got a freeze frame here. We're going to go into slow motion and watch. See, right now this Stug has no side skirts. My AT gun fires. You'll see the shell fly from the bottom part of the frame and hit. And just before it hits, he fires a machine gun, which flies out to the left, and it hits my crew and kills one of my machine gunners. And that gives him enough veterancy to upgrade to side skirts. If my AT gun had fired a moment later, it would have had to deal with that armor, but that wouldn't have made much difference. There's 2 guns, Stug's gone. Meanwhile, we've recaptured the south point, and we are now winning again. We just can't afford to lose the point. Oh, shit. Now, for some reason, they decide to capture this resource point first, but that's not really much help. They've got another squad. Goes up here, captures the victory point, and we're losing again. So I rush my tanks down. I never thought at the time I really should have used my incendiary barrage, but it just didn't occur to me. We're just desperate to try to get a squad in there in time to recapture that point and give us a bit more time to try to pull this one out. And with just 18 points left, Punman gets squads in there to get that victory point decapped and stop the bleed, except something happens and they're out. They're out of the spot, and now they're heading the wrong way, and finally we get it all sorted out. Squads are heading back. We're going to recapture that point. We're going to halt the bleed with just 8 points left. And this is, of course, a perfect time for a tiger to come sniffing around my victory point. Fortunately, I have a lot of AT guns there. A tiger runs right into the middle of my AT guns and my 2 tanks. Those tanks aren't much of a threat to it, but along comes my T-34, which I'm rushing back desperately, and yeah, that tiger never really had a chance. But we're still down 338 to 8. Maybe these Panzer Grenadiers can capture the south point again. What do you think? No, maybe not. Don't think they're going to do that. Maybe these Flame Pioneers and this P4 are going to capture a point, but nope. Here comes a couple of Punman's tanks, and that pretty much ends that threat. How about these Flame Pioneers over here? They're heading up to the North VP, but I anticipated that, and I set a T-70 up there just to support my conscripts. We've now got the enemy triple capped, and I'm just chasing these Flame Pioneers around, having a good time with him. I'm going to chase him all the way back to his base. I'm going to take out these mortars along the way. Oh, crap. Run T-70. Yeah. Oh. Panzer Shreks. Maybe he's going to make it. Maybe he's going to make it. Maybe he's going to make it. He's going to make it. Oh. Oh. Quite the repair party here. My T-70 apparently put a slight scratch in the paint, and we needed about 30 engineers to fix that right up. But that's not much help. I've got a lot of AT guns. We've got a lot of tanks over here watching the other approach. Pretty much we've got everything all won at this point, so we just run into their base and we try to put them out of their misery before they run out of points. But nope, it's a 338 to 8 comeback. And we win the game 8-0. Alright, so here's just some fun bonus footage. We played another game after winning against the 2 hard CPUs. We decided to bump one of them up to expert and see if we could win again, which we did. Although at this point it doesn't look like we're going to, because the enemy's got us triple capped again. I've got my shock troops coming up to try to recapture the center VP, and these mortars, which you can see off in the distance, there's 3 of them, are harassing me, and I'm thinking if I can just dodge my shock troops around long enough to avoid the incoming artillery fire, I can capture this VP, and then I can go out and have a bit of a chat with the mortars. So let's see how that goes.
So there you have it, 16 kills, 4 squad wipes, and only 2 casualties. But now it's time to run away from these Panzer Grenadiers in the half-track. Panzer Grenadiers decide to fire a parting shot, and they hit their own munitions point, and immediately die to the rifles that Punman's moving up. All in all, pretty good run for my shock troops, and sweet revenge on those damn mortars.